I'm so scared. I'm terrified. But I'm excited because today is officially the first day we are working on Snowgrave. Officially. What you see before you actually is a rough sketch that I went and did. It was very, very rushed, just to give a quick idea to make a short kind of trailer to give people something to look forward to for December when we were working on the cage. I was busy with that, so I just wanted to give give some context to what we're going for here. But I think before we do any of that, I am actually going to start completely fresh. I want to completely start over because essentially for the first for the draw with me for the cage, I didn't actually talk during that one because I was still figuring out how to talk. I didn't really have a set system, so I want to give some context to the very first initial sketch phase because this is crucial. This is where everything that we've been practicing, all of the homework we've been doing, all of the anatomy studies, extra tutorials, whatever the heck you've been pouring into your brain, vision-wise, I know what I want to draw very clearly. I see the vision, but execution is a whole nother thing. So context to how I like to get in the zone. Because I don't like to be calm for these sessions. I want to have as much wild, creative energy that I can possibly capture. And then everything thereafter can be very calm. But the initial blank page is very daunting. So how do I combat blank page syndrome? I'm actually in Krita right now. I don't work in Krita very often, but it has this lovely brush. Make it way bigger. Yeah. There we go. It's a little slower. Yeah, the lag. You can see. But the nice thing about it is it kind of builds up, and it's unfortunate that that is not available at all in Psy, which makes me so sad because Psy is just naturally so much faster. I love it. But sometimes I want to just try a different method of how to get ideas and things down very quickly. Basically, for the sketch phase, rather than thinking calmly and strategically with like poses in mind, yes, I have a pose I'm going for, but this is really get your hands dirty, mess around. Who cares what you create? Just put something down because expectations are going to blow you all the way through the roof with analysis paralysis of all the things we could do. And if we don't accomplish them, we get upset. And that's when art block happens. So rather than setting high expectations that are impossible to achieve, just draw. Just draw. But some things that I like to do, I'm getting spicy already. I'm standing for one. But for a couple of other things, I have a very juicy playlist that I have that kind of sets the inspiration tone. So some music that is like very emotionally triggering, some things that make me start to activate the creative brain. I might have like a bit of tea or some toast next to me because I don't want to stop what I'm doing. I want to keep working. However, I just ate, so I don't have that. And then also over here, I'm going to jump over to this screen. My materials tab that I'm in for my Pinterest, which again, you can access via my tutorials in the Heart and the Art. The last video, the color tutorial, as well as the compilation, you can access this Pinterest. So this is kind of like my go-to of just like a ton of references that I've stockpiled over the last year to get my brain thinking in juicy movements start triggering and happening when I start to look at this. So I've already got a couple of references you can kind of see of what I'm thinking about. We are dealing with Snowgrave for Deltarune. So if you have no context whatsoever, then this is not for you. But story-wise, snow, control, frost, and fear is the idea for this picture. So jumping back over to the Pinterest references that I'm looking at, I have a lot of ideas, but I'll go back over here just to give a little context as to what I'm going for. So for this picture, it's a big old gobbledygook mess right now because I was basically just figuring out what the heck I wanted to do in the first place. And I have the idea. The vision is I want to put basically Chris and Noelle, both their light and dark world forms, in the Snowgrave capsule that Birdley is sealed in. Basically the hexagonal snowflake capsule that he's imprisoned in when you use Snowgrave. I thought, well, let's put them in there because they're basically isolated in their own situation. They're completely frozen and cut off from the rest of the world. And Susie has no idea what's going on. No one else really knows what's going on. It's just between Chris and Noelle. So let's section them off. And then I wanted to play as well as possibly using the soul and the player mechanic again. I always love if we can somehow tether like the game UI into it somehow. So initially with this version, again, this was a very rough and dirty, fast-paced, rushed sketch session that I feel pretty good with. I think I'll leave this Chris pose. I like this. And in the background, ideally, they would all be overlapping. I kind of wanted to play with different kinds of shading, which I'll get to in a second. I like Chris's pose here. I did have an option where they were floating instead of sitting. So, not sure yet, but initially, let's go through it really quickly. All of these were going to be overlapping forms of the characters. So, they're all stapled and kind of pinned up and tethered to the snowflake that is the spine structure of the capsule, the hexagonal capsule. So I initially thought let's have each of them kind of plastered to a different spike of it. Chris being the bottom, Noelle being the top, their heads both mirroring and kind of paralleling each other. And then somehow I wanted the Dark World form of Chris, their hand, you know, being this is the action that clicks proceed in the game to force this all to happen. And I wanted it so their Dark World hand would be reaching through the Light World Chris's chest and like pointing through, and that's where their soul is. But I don't know if it's gonna work because their chests are basically at the same level. I was like, oh, if I have them lower and then the soul is coming through, it perspective-wise doesn't work. I had to block it though to find out. I wouldn't have known until I got it out of my brain and saw it on paper, on canvas, and now I'm like, nope. So let's change it. So I'm gonna go up here to my key references that I like to get a set of references that I'm really like trying to channel the energy of. So I'm thinking Noelle, the fallen angel, perhaps. Her dress, cloak, I'm probably going to play with that. That'll be a lot longer than it is in game, drapery-wise. I'm going to have a ton of fun with that. Her wings probably floating down, because they're going to be trapped within the icicle that they're in, so she won't be able to be free. The wings are going to be like ethereally floating down with frost hanging off of the feathers. I really liked this idea of the shading being like specifically the color of each of their sprites in the game. So it would be kind of like this up here where instead of using cell shading, I'll use like a core shadow, like this black core shadow, which is really nice. And then the reflected rest of the shading would be their respective color. And whatever's left over is going to be covered in white or in frost. And maybe reveal a little bit of their actual colors in game. So you get to see that. So that'll be fun. Rendering how to look at... That's another thing. When I was looking up references, I also stumbled upon a video of how snowflakes are made. I love to understand the full mechanics of like, to get as realistic as an image as possible again. It's still stylized, but to go for that surrealism is what I live for. The details. Oh, I love the details. So literally looked up a video of how the science of how snowflakes are made and why they're in hexagon shapes, how many variations there are of snowflakes. I didn't get to talk about it, but I did that for the prophecy picture as well. I looked up how stained glass is made. All of that stuff. It's all still stylized to be like, you know, anime-esque, but as close as we can to reality. It still makes it easier when I'm painting it officially, so... it's like a cheat code to just have something to look at and just be like, oh, I can just copy that. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick idea of what this was because I'm probably going to completely scrap it and we're going to start from scratch. And if we can, I'm not sure how yet, but I wanted to somehow skew it so I can't really explain it, but if we're looking at this is going to be the inside of the capsule. I don't know if we can, but maybe for like a final reveal at some point we can zoom out a hair to see the outside of the capsule as well, and behind it will be proceed, 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 like in faded red behind everything. And in the front, where the soul is going to be, is going to be right up against the glass, possibly a human finger. Somehow, a human finger is pressing up against the glass of the Snowgrave capsule, and the UI is like cracking a little bit, not with like glass texture, but like coded, techie kind of code cracks in the glass. I love this stuff. So anyway, that's fun stuff to play with later. Oh, and then last but not least, of course, the thorn ring is going to be right in front of the soul where Noelle's arms are. So she's going to be like caressing Chris's chest. Like there's a really weird, interesting relationship between the two of them in this version, which is dark, horrific, and not romantic, but they're both terrified of you, and their fear is bonding them, which is awesome. I hate what we're doing in this version. It's awful and terrible, and it's so creepy and gross, but it makes such compelling storytelling. That's why I can't get away from this franchise, because I'm fascinated by it. They're basically both like going through this traumatic experience together, and even if Noelle knows she's probably not completely sure what's going on with Chris, but she knows Chris is not the real reason behind everything. There is another force controlling Chris, and that's the fear that they're both sharing. So if basically Chris is trapped in the snowflake, Chris's arms are going to be up here instead of Noelle's. Noelle's hands are going to be cupped like when she's giving the prayer pose that she's in when she's launching into the Snowgrave position, and then Chris's hands down here, as well as their watch, which might be covered with frost, or maybe part of their hand is a little frostbitten, a little bluer at the edges. Where they might lose their hand. It's my favorite theory. I did a whole picture on it. I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen, but I also kind of hope it does. Anyway, I like the idea of Chris is acknowledging us. They're looking at us at the cameras. Noelle is not. So Noelle will not see us. They're basically holding on to Chris for dear life. Haha, dear life. Oops. Sorry, I'll shoot myself. Anyway, Noelle is trapped in this horrible nightmare herself, but she's not aware of us. Our existence is not acknowledged. Only Chris can see us. So if I do decide to add like the human finger, which might be fun to have like some fingerprints, like the frosted glass would be like that'll be a fun texture day if we get to that, if we make that happen. So anyway, I'm just super excited. I have so many ideas for this picture. If we are able to zoom out, the idea is if I'm moving the camera ever so slightly lower to focus on Chris and Noelle down here, then we can kind of see if the Snowgrave capsule is right against the glass. The UI would be hovering ever so slightly in front of it, and you might be able to see like in between the transparent UI screen that is the Deltarune battle box, and then the actual Snowgrave picture where the soul is. And I don't know if I want to play with it being pixelated or realistic, because I kind of also want to play a little bit with that dynamic of in Chapter 3. What we're seeing is the pixelated soul. What's actually being shown to Chris and what they're experiencing is a real beating heart. I don't know. A crystallized, icy kind of heart. Creepy, freaky, and awesome. So anyway, all that to say, that's, I think, the idea we're going for, and I'm going to cap it here because we have about a minute left. I'm going to completely start from scratch with this. I'm going to just start sketching, and I'll cut back to when I have some ideas down. That also begs the question, I gotta figure out Noelle's anatomy. How do deer hooves work in human form and throw feet? I'm not looking at any references right now of the main characters. I want to wait to do that. I'll look at references at the end. I like to do a reference sandwich that I think somebody suggested to me. Start without references as best you can. Then once you have something rough, Then clean it up with references after, because then you'll have a more authentic idea of what you want to draw once you start. Use your brain first. It's harder, but it's a good challenge. I don't like to use Krita. It's not my go-to, but it's nice. This is a really nice just get your hands dirty brush.